What is going on, everybody? We are back again. Darkness with a ginger hue. I was gonna say the ginger hue is hidden somewhere. Can you find it? It's a treasure hunt.
That's a good
Can you
one.
find it?
That's a good one.
But we're back again. The three amigos.
It's been a minute.
It has been a minute. It has been a minute. And you know what? Life is lifing. That's all I can say. Life is
Indeed.
lifing. And
Indeed.
and it does take us away. And sometimes we can pop out 5 episodes in a month. Sometimes it's just 2. But you know what? We try our best to get as much as we can. I've got a lot of feedback recently saying that we are doing a great job.
Nice.
And we should be making money from this because we are entertaining.
Anybody want to pay? Put some dollars behind them words.
Well, we're gonna get some packages done. Send us some people's. But yes. But anyways, I'm here with my co-host Slang Hugh and our special on-field, on-site correspondent, Deven MD Jones.
peace,
athlete,
and salutations.
And your favorite stress therapist.
Yes.
So let's welcome everybody in. Slang, how are you doing today?
I am good, man. I can't complain. Even if I did, only a few people would care, so I complain to them. And I don't complain, I vent. Complaining seems more of a negative thing. But hey, it's all semantics and syllables at the end of the day. But yeah, man, I'm good, man. I'm living. I can't too complain, like I said. Devin?
Yes.
MD
Devin.
Jones.
Yes.
How you there?
As your mother calls me. She doesn't call me by my first name anymore.
I know. I was just gonna say that.
Just MD?
No, she calls the whole name.
She says Devin. She just says MD Jones.
Oh yeah, that's true. She doesn't say MD Jones.
I love saying the whole thing.
Me too.
I love saying the whole thing.
It flows, right?
It does.
Losers.
It's what my parents called me, so there we go. Fun fact, Slang Hugh also has 4 names.
Indeed, I do.
I do have also 4 names.
You have 4 names too?
Yeah. We should change the name of the podcast to the 4 names.
Yeah.
4x4.
4x4. I like it.
Funny enough, when back in the day I was a spoken word poet, I used to perform 4 different personality types. 4 seems to be the number.
That's surprising.
You had 3 alter egos?
She still does.
Well,
starting this show on fire.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think I have more than
there isn't.
Well, it was more of a like marketing thing because my original nickname was Delicious, right? Which was coined by someone who's actually famous now. They weren't famous then, but they're famous now. Interesting enough. One day we might.
Maestro Fresh West?
Don't know.
I don't know.
They're a famous choreographer.
Shout out Maestro.
And they used to do it to try to embarrass me. This was in university. They yell it across, the university campus to try to make me embarrassed, which I was because I was a little more shy than I am now. And then, so that was my first name. And then I used to do a lot of erotica. But then I started getting booked for religious type venues and then other kind of venues. So Delicious didn't work for the religious type venues. So then I came up with the one name called The Split. And then I performed as 4 different personalities.
You know what? That can go on right now. That can work right now.
Of course.
That can work right. That is a great concept. That is a great concept. Hey, I always said pull out of retirement because she did come out. I want to still hear that piece. You know what? I'm not.
Apparently, he's one of my best friends. I'm coming out. He's turning 50 next year, and I'm coming out for his out of retirement for his birthday. He informed me.
Does that mean you're coming out of retirement for good?
No. I can do special performances. I'm like Queen Latifah. I'll show up. I'll do honorary. What's it called? What you do the other day? Hall of Fame. What?
His face turned when you said Queen Latifah. I don't know.
I was like, out of
Maybe
all
something
people, I
going
don't
on.
think
I
I've
don't
ever
know.
seen her do anything since. But I was thinking
Oh
maybe
yeah, she performed.
an
She
Eminem.
she
Yeah.
literally just performed at the for Tribe Called Quest coming
Yeah.
in being
Rock and Roll
inducted
Hall of
into
Fame.
the
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Okay.
So she comes
Okay.
out every once in a while and she'll do stuff. So that's me. That's me in the poetry industry.
Okay. Okay. So special events, special occasions.
Yeah.
Is all you're doing. Okay.
I am
Sounds
available
good.
for weddings also, thanks.
Hey,
This
if you
guy.
can do it,
He's also available for weddings as an MC. So there you go.
I've done many myself. So yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. I've
just
done
got hired to do one. Well, until the money clears, I'm potentially
Yeah.
hired to do one.
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah. Again, I did mine for free, so because family and
Oh, okay,
friends.
okay.
That's
So,
not-
but again, I haven't marketed myself as one, but I can definitely do it for sure. I'd
Mhm.
rather do it for friends and family because I know what to say with friends and family. I can throw
That
a
makes
joke and
sense.
people will get it.
That
I
makes
can
sense.
throw a concept of how we deal with things at our age and whatnot. But if I have to
It's
work
easier.
and study the people and go through notes, and it might be a bit harder, but I can definitely go off the cuff and off the fly. So I just haven't really thought about it. But I like doing the friends and family. It's fun that way.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's easier definitely with people you know.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
How's the weather by you folks there? Has it
Just got
cooled down?
cold. It's cold. Yeah, it's cold right now. It's 5 degrees, but today it was about 11.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit chilly.
Right.
Not like
Okay.
not cold. Yesterday was way chillier than today, but I feel like as long as you're in the sun, when the sun's out,
Yes.
it's fine. As soon as that sun goes down,
Exactly.
it
Which
Fair
is it's just almost a year-round thing here in Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once sunlight's gone, that's it. Put on the hoodie, put on the hat, make sure.
It's a wrap.
know.
actually just don't go outside.
No.
I was told that we are going to get a very very dangerous winter because we were nice with it last year. So
I think they said that. Yeah, they did say that. I think they said that.
I think
about
was it? I don't know what El Nino is that what they call it? El Nino for the weather and the
groundhog.
Hurricane.
was that?
Isn't that a hurricane?
I don't know.
I
I
think
don't
it
know
was
what the term what a warm
or a tropical storm.
winter is called. I don't know what it's called. I have to look it
Oh
up.
yeah, there's a term. There is a term, and
There
it's
we go.
similar to that. If it's not that, there's
Yeah, so because we had that last year or maybe a couple years in a row, it's time for the turning of the guard, and Old Man Winter is going to bless us with a ton of stuff.
So hibernation. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And there's global warming. So who's winning, man?
Hurricanes are still going on.
I need beaches in Toronto before I'm 70.
You do know
you want the real flip.
global
You want the
warming-
real switch up, eh? You really want that weather.
global warming doesn't mean that it's getting warmer.
Well,
Necessarily. Eventually, yes, but there's like a thing that has to happen before that happens. So yeah.
They're all talking about the icebergs that are melting in Antarctica or whatever.
Yes.
In the Arctic.
Yeah.
So they're getting nice warm weather right now. Bring it down this way. If we're melting
Our
ice
weather,
caps
our
and all
weather
that stuff.
generally has been milder the last few years. Like we haven't had no terrible winters. The last
thing
few
is, that's scary though. See, that's scary because if
it's going back to normal at some point, it's scary. But if it's just going this way, and who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Science is science. We can't trust it anyways. I can't call the weather. Never.
I'm waiting for palm trees.
Nah. Unless you're planting them yourself or blowing them up yourself, you're not getting nothing here.
Gotta go
Warm weather's not reaching. Although a vacation is in the mindset. I need to do.
Likewise, I've been talking.
I was just in Toronto, as you know. I went to celebrate my brother's 40th birthday and his Thanksgiving as well. And man, remember the last time I was there? It was a total opposite. Probably the best trip since.
Oh, nice.
I've been, because there's people I haven't seen in 20 years that came out to see me because they knew I was coming. So that was an amazing feeling. Took a lot of pictures, talked a lot of smack, caught up, hugs, pictures. It was just, I saw my brother's youngest son for the first time, and he's what,
Mm.
4,
Oh
and
wow.
like he was on me like glue. So I'm like, man, it was a great feeling, and they just convinced me to come back more frequent. That's what everybody says. You need to come back more often. I'm like, yeah, it's in the works, but it costs money. So I have to pre-plan because I don't know if Devin knows that I'm now a travel agent and I can book flights.
Nice.
So I can now
You get good deals.
Exactly.
Nice. Beautiful.
Exactly. So I can now pinpoint when's the best time to go for myself.
Apparently, December 3rd is a really good day to book
December
travel
3rd in particular?
this year.
Oh, it changes?
Apparently.
Is a holiday of some sort, or is there something I don't know?
Apparently on the travel blogger said that December 3rd is the day to book travel for next year.
For next year, okay. Like
Okay, well,
2025?
Yeah. Okay.
On your calendars.
Yeah. December 3rd, book your flights or your packages and all that stuff. That's the day that I should be busy. You'll be emailing me and calling me and texting me. I'll put in that work. No problem.
There you have it.
There you go. There you go. Probably even get sponsored by us. You never know. But anyways, let's get into the juicy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Get it.
I know I didn't want to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it. The show that is the craze of all crazes. Love is Blind, season 7.
Yeah, I was shocked when I saw that, even though I shouldn't be shocked.
Oh my
God. It's 7 seasons in?
Yeah. I was kind of shocked that it's been 7 seasons.
Well, it's more than that if you really think about it, because that's just the American version.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. There's a UK version.
Japanese, Brazilian, Swedish.
What was first?
UK, American.
Okay. Oh, American was first. Okay.
American was first.
Yeah.
Okay. So when they take breaks, then the other countries will take over, I'm assuming, and they will continue, or okay.
It's funny because I just finished watching Brazilian when I was traveling this summer. I was in France visiting my friend, and she's like, you should watch the Japanese one because the Brazilian one is so sexual, and then you watch Japan, which is so asexual. Like they don't talk about sex. They don't film any kissing.
This guy, don't get us
all respect. That's the thing. It's all about respect, though.
Yeah.
With those, because when we first started doing the whole seen and unseen podcast that we haven't touched in a while.
Yeah.
But we talked about the show The 100.
Yeah. She's the one that introduced me to that show.
Yeah. And the amount of respect that was in that competition was ridiculous. So if you want
the
physical 100, yeah. And when you not sorry, I should have said the physical 100. Yeah, the 100 is another TV series, but that one,
a different show
the physical 100 was done in an Asian. I guess it was Korea. I think it was Korea. Yes. Man, the respect. I love the show because of the respect.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I love it. So when you say that they're doing something like that in an Asian country, yeah, they're not touching any of that.
But honestly, it was pretty boring.
Of course, it's boring because that's what we're talking about. Shows like that. Brazil and UK were probably aside from America were the most exciting to watch because it was like they had way more drama. Especially the reunion show for Brazil was drama times 1,000. But the main reason, because fun fact, I studied sociology. Sociology was my major in university, and mass communications. And honestly, this show is a major display of sociology. Like it's like how people socialize within different cultures. Right? And that's so for each show.
Yeah, when I watch these shows, it's just so fascinating to me, and especially watching them across the different cultures. And what are beauty standards? Right? What are like etiquette? What is etiquette when dating? What are expectations when dating? What do you expect of your partner in a romantic relationship? How, like in Brazil, everybody lived at home with their parents.
It's the way of life. That's the way of life.
Live at home or like
no, They lived at home
Yeah,
with their
like they
parents.
never left.
Yeah, you
I'm
don't
probably
let
the
them.
same, if they did in Africa, they probably did the same thing.
Yeah, even after you get married, you move in with your parents.
And you build that place.
Mhm.
The male
They
side.
don't leave. They
Or-
probably don't leave.
Well, which side? Is it men and women doing it, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did they
Almost
decide?
everybody lived at home with their parents. If somebody didn't live with their parents, they were like, "Oh, like you got money." Like,
Either they have money or there's tragedy. One of the two.
yeah,
Right?
exactly.
So something has happened. You
Yeah.
have to take on. But
And
yeah.
so like that's such a huge stigma like in North America, right? Like in
Mhm.
North America, like, oh, they're in the last season, one guy lived at home with his parents, and that was such a big deal. And she literally berated him for it.
Mhm.
She's like, you're not a man, you don't know how to do anything, which
I raised you from a boy to a man
literally what she said to this
in
man.
3 weeks.
Come on, man. That's what I'm talking about.
She said this
That's what I'm
to
talking about. Listen, this is why I don't like the show. It's all about the tea. This show is really just dating without the blindfold, like without the curtain. That dating. If I'm talking to a girl, whatever, on the phone, that's what we're seeing in real time with that show.
So that's what makes it good, but that's the reason why you probably don't like it is because it's triggering.
No. It's not even that. It's not even that triggering. It's the fact that no, it's not triggering. It's the fact that women now. Well, I'm not going to say women. I'll say both sides. I want to be fair about this. But both people are seeing situation glamorized, and it really isn't that way on a regular basis.
No, but that's the whole point of the show is that the reality comes in, right?
Right.
Because they're in the pods, they're talking to this person, they're getting to know this person. This is what this person says who they are.
Right.
Then they're brought face to face to be like, are you the person that you say you are? And now even that person kind of has to come face their reality and show and prove that they're the person that they say they are. They're thrown into a situation where they're like, we're on a honeymoon. Yeah, that's great. But then now you got to live together. Right. And living together is like that reality where like, if you, a spoiler, oh, can I do some spoilers?
Probably talk around it if you can.
I mean,
I don't care, but I mean,
go ahead.
somebody might be watching. That's why. Spoiler alert, people. If you skip a couple minutes,
you haven't watched up until like what has been released already, please mute and come back.
I haven't, but I will be watching.
Mute and come back, right? But I'll say this. Not a lot of people make it to the altar in this season. It's the least amount of people that make it to the altar in this season. And part of the reason is I feel like one, people they're really showing their ass.
What do you mean?
They're really showing their ass because like in one of the situations, and it's funny because we as viewers, and this is the conversation that Slang and I had earlier, which kind of sparked that we wanted to talk about this, is that as viewers, we don't only just have the view of what is happening within the show, right? But we also have the internet sleuths who are doing research and giving us like extra background information, which if you really think about it, it's not real. That part is not real. Like if you have to just kind of like almost tune out what's happening on social media and only watch the show if you want to get the real story of what it's like to be in that relationship, because that's all that they can take from. So like these interview sleuths are coming in with extra information because they've done a deep dive. Now you're getting the view of the ex-girlfriend or the view of
it's all doctored.
Yeah, no, but it's not doctored. It's like you're getting things that you wouldn't normally get in.
Sorry, you're right.
So like being in a relationship, right?
Your views are skewed.
How many times am I going to get the inside view from Omar's ex-girlfriend?
Yeah,
you're right.
It's not real.
And the thing is, if you do get that view, is that view out of spite? Is it honest? Is it everything? Because everybody that puts anything on the internet, it doesn't have to be. It's not always true. Yeah. Sometimes people are just angry and they put stuff on there.
Celebrity.
Yeah, they just put stuff on there, right? So I'm like,
I'm in the
your
middle.
views are skewed when you have the sleuths jumping in and saying what they need to say, and then you come back to watch the show. I'm like, so this is what they were saying. Is this? And you get in the aha moments, and really and truly, you shouldn't be getting there. You should be surprised once you see what you see firsthand.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
I would say, and first of all, I'm in the middle of both your the ways you guys view the show. I think there are touches of reality in there, and then there are a whole lot of production. I think they let you see what they want you to see for entertainment purposes, and for the same reason, they embrace the internet uproar because that adds to. I probably would watch as much of it as they did, and I've never watched the season if I didn't see stuff on Instagram that maybe said, "What? Okay, what happened?" Ooh.
Can you tell people about your late night confession to me one day that scared me?
Oh.
No. He called me. He called me and he's like, Deven, something really serious happened. And I'm like, what kind of foolishness is this guy talking?
You see
The setup.
how she reacts to serious
Nonsense.
You see how she reacts to a serious situation, bro? I could have been dying, bro.
I hear you, bro. I hear
nonsense.
you, bro.
This is what black men go through.
The pain.
Nobody cares, bro.
The pain.
Nobody cares about
no
our feelings.
It was the setup. It was like, this is too dramatic. This is not, it's gonna be some kind of foolishness. But I didn't know what it was. I wasn't ready. And he's like, I watched Love is Blind. He's like, I watched a clip and it pulled me in and I had to watch an episode.
Yeah, I was embarrassed too when I did season 6.
The whole season?
The whole season.
No, I didn't go that far. I watched 2 episodes, I believe. I'll probably watch 2 more. And I'm out.
Technically, you've watched a lot more because
pieces.
Yeah, because I watch it. So here's what happened. This is what normally happens per season. The season will come out. I will watch the season, and then I will give him the Cole's Notes version. I will like recap the season and give him like the dramatic recap of like the highlight notes. And then it's really, really important. I'll be like, okay, here's a clip, and then I'll watch it.
And you just roll the footage. Let's go to the tape. You don't believe it? Let's
pretty much.
Jim, roll it.
I was like, you have to watch this clip and tell me, is this person gaslighting?
I would rather watch the show that way. So I don't have to go
through it's better.
Yeah.
Better,
I don't want to go through the fillers. I don't want to go through the people talking
honestly,
in their pod.
I probably skipped in the episodes that I watched. I might skip and then be like, oh, okay, I missed something. Go back a little bit. But I don't watch the full episode.
Oh, the wedding episodes, I skipped half of it and I just get to the point where they're walking down the aisle. Because by that point, they've already
have that patience.
Half of it is just like recapping them getting dressed, and I'm like, I don't care.
Wait, I didn't get to finish what I was saying. I was saying that the show is produced in a realistic situation, but it's also hyper sped up. Basically, it's a real relationship sped up
in 3 weeks.
So
is it 3 weeks?
In 3 weeks, well, I don't know. It's months. It's 3 weeks exactly. The whole thing.
I think it's 3.
Technically, 3 weeks.
The whole thing.
3 weeks in the pod.
I feel like it used to be longer, but this last one was 3 weeks because they kept talking.
That is crazy.
But I think previous seasons were longer. They've sped it up.
Yeah,
I think because they want to get more out, so they just speed it up. So they have a good thing.
Worse than I thought. I thought it was at least a month or 2.
The first couple were,
Wow.
Now, in terms of my confession, the only reason I was in a relationship at the time and I was watching it, but the only reason why I was invested is because of how they made certain people look in the show. Like I'm spoiler alert, but there's a guy in season 6 by the name of Trevor, guy with the mullet. I thought he was a great guy.
You know who he's talking about, Evan?
Yeah.
Devin knows.
That's true.
Thought he was a great guy.
What did you
Yeah.
think, Devin?
Devin thought he was a great guy too at one point.
I
Come
can
on,
see
Devin.
that on her face. I can see that on
But
her.
she knows what I'm getting to
Oh,
after the fact. Because again, he seemed to be a good guy, genuine guy.
Trevor
All
with
right.
the middle. Mm-hmm.
And when it came down to it, he was flexing this whole different personality. He had a girl on the outside. The minute he left the pod, he texted the girl, said, "Yo, I'm coming." And the girl's like, can I get you at the airport? Blah, blah. And they was like, yo, how do you do that? Like, you made yourself look like a fool. And then he comes back on the reunion show and talks about this. I'm like, are you stupid?
No, it's because he got caught though. Because okay, more to the story. Trevor and his girlfriend. He had a girlfriend when he went into the thing, and they concocted it that they.
This guy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's why I didn't believe the show anymore. I'm like, yo, you're just implanting stories to make people watch. Because no man in the world would really do that to themselves.
There's people but no, because sometimes people are con artists. Sometimes people are con artists and they'll just be like, yeah, I'm in it for love, and they're pretending. But that also is the reality of what happens in relationships.
People are con people. You're right.
It's real. There's people who come in and they'll tell you
their own ulterior motives.
They'll tell you exactly what you want to hear to get what you want. Male and female. Both sides.
It's true. No, it's true. It's thrown under lights now.
So I'm saying it's entertainment based in reality. There are very real concepts that are involved in the show, but they hype it up. They put it's a relationship on steroids.
It's the honeymoon stage on steroids. Not even a relationship. It's the honeymoon stage on steroids.
The reason why I even say it's a relationship, because even after the honeymoon stage, there is a realization. You come to the realization: do you really want to be with this person or not? And but all of this takes longer than 3 weeks or even 2 months for most people. Not everybody.
Yeah.
And then some people come to the realization, I don't want to be with this person. The honeymoon is over. Some people come to the realization, I still want to be with this person. We're going to get married, or we're going to stay together, or what have you.
Yeah.
It's just it's a relationship on steroids. But it is very entertaining, like most of these dating shows. I don't know.
Not even
Devin, would you say sets it apart? Is it the most popular one?
Now,
Love Is Blind, That's the it show right now. Remember back in the day, it was Survivor.
Was running things.
Yeah, Bachelor
dating show wise.
Bachelor hits like a very specific demographic.
That makes sense.
I've never been a Bachelor demographic, so
I hate to say that's white America right there.
The same people who would watch like the Housewives shows are Bachelor people. So it's not a small demographic; it's huge.
No, it's huge.
But I feel like Love Is Blind hits a larger. I feel like Love Is Blind gets more men.
I could see that.
It hits more men.
Yeah, than the average.
Oh, you know what? And it's not really the same, but I guess the other quote unquote dating reality show would be 90 Day.
Let's not talk about that show.
Another one. I've never watched it.
I watched it.
Wait,
but
hold on. Devin,
it's not a game show. Like that.
I've never watched it.
Okay,
never.
Slang. But let her watch.
No, you should watch it. If you like Love Is
Blind,
you probably would like 90 Day.
You'll love the drama of 90 Day Fiancé. That's another show that I was going, and I can't watch that show ever again.
Makes me
They did my countrymen wrong, bro. Wrong.
Michael?
No,
Michael is what we were just talking about. A con artist.
Okay, so
no, he was not. He was him. He was Nigerian. That's it.
Same thing.
Watch your mouth, brother. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
Sorry, man. As you were saying,
no, sorry, I'm not involved in that one. Finish that up.
No, we're just 90. We're saying no. You should try watching 90 Day Fiancé. Similar to Love Is Blind for me. I watched one episode and I dived in.
But that's my point. That's why I don't watch it, because I know myself, and I'll get caught up in it, and then I have to watch it.
Yeah,
I do think in my small experience with Love Is Blind, it's a lot. The people on 90 Days seem a lot more pathetic
yes,
and
they
desperate.
they put together
Yeah,
meshes that would
some
never work in
train
reality.
wrecks. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
train wrecks.
they did it on purpose. And when I said that, because I was on a TV show, and because I said that about that, they didn't renew the second season of the show that I was on because I
Oh,
trashed TLC. I said, "You're putting on trash TV." I'm sorry, that was trash TV at the time.
Wait,
Not gonna lie.
what show were you on?
Secret Lies and DNA Ties. It was filmed out here in Winnipeg. It's on Super Channel.
All right.
Probably can watch it online. But again,
And Googled. No, I'm just-
but yeah, I mean that show really turned me off about all the shows after it dealing with relationships and the experiment of putting these people together. That's why I was hesitant to watch Love Is Blind. Love Is Blind is very entertaining, both how they interact with their dates and how the guys or the girls interact with each other. The cattiness, you get the vibe. And then all of a sudden it blows up when the reality hits and they're out in public.
Okay, so I'll say this. Seasons 1 and 2 of Love Is Blind were great and the most realistic, right?
Okay.
That's usually how it goes.
I feel like everybody was on board and like, oh, I believe in love. Oh, this could happen for me, blah, blah, blah. I want to go on Love Is Blind, blah, 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 blah. Season 3 is where everything changed.
Yes, because now it's popular. I've watched it. Now I want to be famous.
No,
See,
something happened.
That reminds me of The Walking Dead. Walking Dead, season 1 and season 2, amazing shows. Season 3, you just tuned out.
Comparing Love Is Blind to The Walking Dead is crazy and yet somehow fitting.
No,
it's fitting. 1 and 2 are great.
Walking Dead, walking down the aisle. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. My bad.
So the reason why season 3 changed the trajectory of Love Is Blind. Love Is Blind was actually very pure and not about the drama until the end of season 3.
What happened?
So,
fight. Got to be a fight.
Season 3.
Somebody get bucks.
We're going to talk about Zainab and Cole. I couldn't even remember the names. I had to look it up. So Zainab and Cole's relationship. Okay. So Zainab, she was the victim of her relationship the whole time, recruited all the girls to get behind her, right? And you were kind of just like, but look, one thing I will say, I was onto her from before, and I was like, something ain't right with this. And some of the stuff that she's saying, I don't believe it, right? I will say, I really did not believe her.
Okay.
Only to find out. The whole show goes on. Everything happens. The weddings happen. She says no and does a whole speech at the altar about how he's horrible to her. He told her she's fat. He told her she's this. He told her he's this. So one of the biggest stories that she told all the girls is that they were going to meet everybody and she went to go eat an orange and he's like, are you really gonna eat that now?
Oh, I think I remember this story.
Right? Okay. In referring to like she shouldn't eat because she's fat. Right? And she made
that's what she twisted to.
That's how she twisted it too, right? So at the end of the main episodes before they went into the reunion, the producers released
the actual footage.
The behind the scenes
in that situation. And he's like, oh, are you sure you want to eat that? You're going to ruin your appetite because we're going out to eat dinner.
Well done, producers. Well done.
Yep. Again.
Right? And then
they have the footage.
It's there. And I was like, I knew it. I knew she was making it seem like he was being horrible to her, and he wasn't doing anything to her.
Wait, what season was this? This is 3?
3. That's why I had to look up because I was like, was that 4? Yeah.
Okay.
3. But even still, and this will lead up to what Omar and I were talking about today that led to this whole
String it together, babe. String it together.
So
Bring it home.
After that clip was released, showing that he wasn't lying, that he didn't do anything, when he showed up to the reunion, he had been lambasted so much on social media. This guy walked in like he just got out of jail or something. Like his spirit had left his body.
I see where you're going. I see where you're going.
And he just sat there and he just kept apologizing. Like they just kind of like destroyed this man's spirit. And I was like, he didn't even do anything. This man didn't do anything.
That makes me tear up because again, that happens in reality on a regular basis on both sides. I'm not saying one or the other.
Which brings us to the topic.
Okay.
Bring it home.
So today we were talking about the new season. So
here's the pitch.
Bring it back to the new season. So Ramses, right, is getting destroyed on social media right now for being unfeminist, for being the villain of the season, and for being like just the worst person ever.
The jerk.
That's the hit.
That's it. And in my opinion, Ramsey didn't do anything wrong.
So we had a discussion earlier that included the fact that it seems that men aren't allowed to say anything.
Their truth.
In this time, it's because everything's pretty sensitive and we're being punished. This is my perspective. Although she agreed, but she's not going to agree on
not on camera. No.
We are being punished
to that extent
for our past aggressions, in which the pendulum has shifted, and how women weren't allowed to say their piece or their take back in the days. It's come to the point where it's seemingly that men are not allowed to say, because the reason why Ramses was getting vilified because he wanted his girl to he wanted his girl to take birth control, so he didn't have to wear a condom because they didn't want to have kids right away. Well, he didn't want to have kids right away.
That is a great compromise, but again, you have to both have to agree.
That is the thing. It's kind of like,
is he telling her to do this though?
No,
he never told her to do it. But
he's asking.
Okay. My perspective, when I watched it, I did leave feeling like he was insinuating, that she take birth control, because he wasn't looking to no other option. At least when I left, I felt that's what it was going on.
Okay.
I didn't have the background that he claimed to be a feminist and all that, so that part didn't even clue into my brain. So having heard that, I do understand where the backlash comes from, in that he's trying to dictate what she does with her body. However, Deven has a different perspective. She's
I don't think that he actually was telling her or even insinuating the fact that she should take the birth control pill. I think that they were in. So if we are having a conversation, so Tokes, you and I are having a conversation. And first time ever, we're in a relationship, and you, for the first time ever, I'm like, we're at the point where it's serious now. We've been using condoms.
Yeah.
And then I said, you know what? Because you're like, can we get to the point, can we not use condoms? And I was like, well, I'm not on the pill, and I can't take the pill because I have this medical condition.
Okay.
And it doesn't make me feel good. Like, it makes me sick. They don't mix well. I can't really go on the pill.
Okay.
This is the first time we're ever having this conversation because we've only known each other for 2 weeks.
Right.
And now you're processing this information and you're telling me, I hate condoms. Like, I really don't feel like I hate wearing condoms. I don't love it. But if you really think about it, the reason why they're having this conversation is they have been using condoms. It's not like he's like, they've been having sex. So
And
It's
they've
not
been
like he's
using
saying
condoms.
it's not like he's yeah.
Okay,
If
that's
he's saying
weird. That makes it even
that
weirder.
he's not enjoying it because of the condoms, but they're still doing it, he's
He's
already
not saying that,
sacrificed.
but he's
Yeah.
saying he wants to get to the point where they don't have to use
That
condoms.
makes it weird.
Right.
Right? So
Right.
this is their relationship
Yeah.
conversation where they're like, okay, we're here, we're together, we're getting married, let's not use condoms anymore. And she's like, well, I'm not on the birth control pill, so I prefer if we still kept using condoms. And he's like, well, I don't like using condoms because I don't feel it as greatly when I use condoms. So they're having an adult conversation about it.
Yeah, that
Right?
sounds logical.
He's not saying, oh, I need you to go on the pill. He never said that at any point.
No, he didn't.
Right.
He never said that at any point. People are putting that on him. He's processing this new information because, as we all do, sometimes you're like, okay, I'm going to get in this relationship and then everything's good. Okay, then we're going to stop using condoms and then everything's going to be all good. And then you're all of a sudden there's a wrench thrown in the plan that you had in your brain and you're like, oh,
what do we do
what
now?
are we gonna do? If you really look at him, he was like, you could see that he's like in his head about it. He's like, oh, but I don't really like condoms.
Now-
and condoms, like he's processing it.
I
Right?
have a question.
We'll talk about it again.
I have a question. Is it now just again, as you're the woman of the group, is it the pill itself or the whole process of birth control that she doesn't like or doesn't sit well with her, doesn't jive with her body? Because there are other methods of birth control that you can use. So did
Like-
they consider anything else? The IUD, the shot, there's other things. Did she not consider those as well? Or are those one and the same when it comes to the problem?
I'm gonna add to your list of vasectomy. So
No, sorry, that's on the man's side though.
and the
I'm
first
talking about
ones- for the first ones all you mentioned are the birth. So this is what we were talking about too, is that all those methods that you mentioned put the fact of her not getting pregnant all in her hands.
yes.
Right? So it's not really his responsibility. If you look at, and we talked about this also, if you look at the research of all methods of birth control, the least dangerous of all of those is the vasectomy.
The thing is, you said the least dangerous. Okay, but it also, again, we're calling in the States right now, correct?
No, we're worldwide.
Okay, no. I'm sorry. I'm talking about the show.
America,
The show is in the States.
Yeah.
That surgery for a vasectomy is costly.
Good point.
Correct. Now, if they
So is birth
agree,
control.
no,
So is birth control.
no,
No,
I don't
it's
know.
probably
No,
not
no,
as expensive.
not
I
as
don't-
expensive.
Well,
What I'm saying-
actually,
no.
over time, it might be.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
IUD is probably more expensive because you actually have to pay for the device as well as the surgery. So an IUD is more expensive. The shot is a continuous thing. It's not just a one-time thing.
Yeah.
That's something you're doing every month. So add up the amount of how much that is going to cost for a year versus a one-time shot. A vasectomy is reversible versus the other things are actually putting chemicals within your body and things within your body that can not only harm you, but harm your baby for the future or make it possible that you cannot have children in the future.
Yeah.
Versus a vasectomy, none of those things are dangers.
And this is why
not being able to have children ever again is a danger in a vasectomy as well. It may not work to go back, but that's the
and okay, there, like I said, there is a risk. What I'm saying is, again, just looking at a guy's point of view, I thought it would be easier to stop the pill, stop the shot, and take out the IUD instead of going back and surgically repairing the vasectomy.
Wait, hold on. Let me answer this.
IUD is
Let me ask this question. Let me ask you this.
Again, I don't know.
Let me ask you this
question.
question.
That's why I'm asking you on a woman's.
It doesn't matter which is surgical. What is easier? It's from the perspective of the person that has to do it.
True.
So for me, I don't ever consider surgery being easier, quote unquote, but at the same time, it's a one-time thing. Whereas you, like she said, continuously have to go get a shot, continuously have to take a pill that is going to give you long-term effects. I'm on the side of, maybe it's because I don't have kids, don't intend to. I'm on the side of,
I get it. I get it. But I know people who have gotten that and they say break up with their spouse and they get into another relationship, and that person wants to have kids, and now you have to go under the knife again to correct something that was flawed in another. Like, that's what I'm saying. So you might go under the knife and not wake up again. I'm not saying I wish that on anybody, but that has happened.
But at the same time, that still is the least dangerous out of all.
You're right. Again,
that is still even with the surgery option, it still is the least dangerous.
I think my fear is the fact that you're going. I think my fear is the fact that you're going under the knife to do something that can be chemically done.
IUD. That's what you have to do with an IUD.
Right. I didn't.
You know how many women have had like hemorrhaging, almost some have died, all these things because of IUD.
Yeah, I've heard.
You're putting a foreign object within your body.
Yes.
Right? Your body rejects that. That's the same thing you're doing with birth control of any sort, of shots or anything of that sort. Right?
And they're all medicine.
It's all medicine. They're all certain level of poison.
Toxic.
Is there not a female version of the condom that person could use?
There is.
Yeah.
There is.
Was that not per se for him, but for her?
The female condom.
Yes. Would that
alter? He doesn't want any barrier.
Feeling. He doesn't want.
I see. No, and I can understand and respect that, but again, as a man. No, sorry, not even as a person who's in a relationship, you have to compromise. You have to be real with your decision. You can't just think me. You got to think both sides.
That's the point. That's why it's being vilified.
Right.
Because people took it as he was not thinking of her. And here's the thing. Because he knows she has the sickness, that's also where I agree with the idea.
So he knows. So he was told prior.
No, they were told while they were having the conversation. It was all this
during the same conversation. But I'm saying it's almost the moment of somebody's. It's like Deven saying to me, "If I eat this peanut, I could go into shock and die." And me saying, "Yeah, but we got to eat peanut butter. So what are you gonna? Are you gonna not eat the peanut butter? Is that what you're saying?"
I like to watch you eat peanut butter. It makes me happy and it excites me.
but I know she's going to die. So that's where
getting breathe.
Don't worry, I'll call him just now.
Don't worry. You got this. You almost got through it.
Right. But that's where the criticism is somewhat warranted, because he's even though he's going through the motion, like you said, Deven, which I think is correct, it's still a lack of that piece of information, which kind of should trump you not liking the feeling of a condom that you're already currently using.
If you are truly in love with that person, you're going to take one for the team for the sake of your woman's health and peace of mind.
Exactly.
Which leads me to
but they only know each other for 3 weeks. But go ahead. Sorry.
Which leads me to our segue, because we like a segue.
Go ahead.
So the segue is in the next week.
In the next week.
He breaks it up.
Next week.
Spoiler alert.
What?
Sorry.
What?
What happened?
Next week.
You saying he broke it off?
Yeah, because he wasn't sure. And when you think about this and you watch the conversation that happens, I feel like it all comes together. Because I feel like we've all been there. When you're in love with someone, there's things that
look past.
You look past, you're like, okay, oh, you want to use condoms? Okay, I'm going to use condoms. I'm going to do whatever it takes to be with you. Yeah. And he's getting vilified. This is why they're saying he's the villain, because he broke it, because he ended things.
No,
can I talk to the camera for a minute? No.
Go on, girl.
Ladies.
All my ladies.
Because I've only really had I've had this conversation with many women throughout the years. I worked as a personal trainer, as a therapist, so I do a lot of one-on-one with women. We get into deep conversations about stuff, and I've heard many women say, if someone ends a relationship or someone and especially a man. If a man ends a relationship with you or your friend or something, he's a horrible person. Ending a relationship with someone doesn't make you a horrible person. It actually makes you a better person for not staying in a relationship and cheating and taking advantage of someone. When a man realizes that he doesn't want to be in a relationship with you and he ends it, be thankful.
Kudos to him.
Be thankful.
Not even be thankful though, but just respect it.
Not to him. Just be thankful in general that this person didn't sit there and waste your time. Right? So Ramsey ends it because he's like, look, 3 weeks. He's like, I love you. He's like, I really do. But I was married before, and I'm scared that I'm going to make the same mistakes that I made before. And so I am not sure that this is the right decision for me and you to move forward right now. He's like, it's not that they don't love you. It's
being honest, which everybody asks for.
100% being real and honest. And people are like, he's a villain. He gaslit her. He let on. And I was like,
now this is the emotional aspect of a woman in terms of this. That took over and turned him into public enemy number one because he was real and honest. That sucks. You can't be real and honest with anybody anymore.
He didn't fulfill the fantasy, right? Again, it's a TV show. People don't realize that they're watching it as a TV show because they get wrapped up and enthralled in it. But I am watching a real live Cinderella here. And now the prince just ran off on Cinderella.
Not with someone else.
But no, he just ran off. He just ran off. Which he didn't complete. He didn't complete the Disney princess fantasy, which is why
he is now the villain. People
get upset, and it's not just women, but mostly women. But it's not just women. A lot of people are vilifying him because the fantasy is incomplete.
Well, just to say, and it's not, and like you said, it's not just women that do this. This is what creates on the other side of it. This is what creates incels, right? Incel male who thinks that they're entitled to someone loving them in the same way that feeling for them in the same way that they felt for them. And it's the same on both sides, right? When people create these fantasies of how life should happen for them and other people don't fall into line, all of a sudden they vilify
everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So now
the whole lineage.
This segues to the next part of things here. Seeing that you had two people that at one point were on the same level, right? And then all of a sudden one's gone.
I see where you're going.
And that person just standing there, just waiting. What's going on? Do you believe that everyone has a soulmate? That's my question to you, Deven.
Okay.
Do you believe
everyone? Are we classifying what a soulmate is or defining a soulmate? Or are we just going to go off of our own personal belief of what a soulmate is?
Well, everybody has their own belief of what a soulmate is, right? I sent you this topic earlier, and I had a deep conversation with a friend of mine asking me that question, right? And they were confused. Does it have to be on an intimate level? And I said, no. You can have a soulmate
that's a good point, though.
You don't have to be in bed with them. You don't have to be married to them. You don't have to be
in a relationship.
They can be your soulmate just because of how they connect with you. Because the video I sent you is all about chemistry. If they make you feel the way you feel, and you don't have to hey, what's going on? Hey, what's good? It was like you can not talk to them for 20 years, and then the next time you see them, it's like, yo, it was like yesterday. That's the type of chemistry we're talking about. Not everybody's gonna have that same experience when it comes to being a soulmate. But again, it's really beyond us. You can't control that. It's just a feeling. It is just a feeling. Okay. It doesn't have to be your partner. I think.
I agree. Okay, because I was gonna say I agree with everything you said there. The control part, however, I think we like to believe that we can't control the way that we feel, so that it's easier to excuse our actions as a result of the way we feel. So I think a lot of us will just say, because I don't like this, I could be angry at it, and then I could break the car windows. You know what I'm saying?
Well, okay. I got what you're saying, but I'm thinking just say a biological feeling, that the warm and fuzzy feeling that you can't control. It's the ones that give you goosebumps when you see something or hear music that you can't control that feeling. That's just a natural feeling that happens to you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
Not
okay. Even okay. I don't know which. Let me answer the soulmate question real quick. I do believe everybody has soul mates.
Yeah, there's multiples. Yeah, there's a good.
I don't think it's a lot. I'm the Bronx Tale when he tells Cologilo that we all get 3 great women in our life. I believe in something like that. You get a limited chance, and I'm speaking on a romantic level more than anything,
Fair enough.
have a perfect, or if not near perfect, and when I say perfect, doesn't mean without any problems,
Right.
but it's more good than bad, way more good than bad relationship in this life. And you can miss those trains if you're stupid, which a lot of us are. So that's the soulmate question. That's why I believe that you do have control, more control than we like to give ourselves credit for, because in a relationship sense, it allows us to fall into situations that we more, because it's ironic that when you come out of a quote unquote bad relationship, you can always look at it and say, yo, right there, I knew right there, but I stuck it out anyway. I should have, right there. You can pinpoint the moment. Those instincts are not only built in, they're learned. We learn how to love over time. However we do it, whether it's good or bad, which is always relative, but we learn how to love it. You don't come out with those butterflies in your stomach. There's certain things that you become attracted to, or you come across that turn you on, that give you those butterflies. Yep. But sometimes those butterflies are not a good thing.
True.
Sometimes we get butterflies for the wrong people who have the right personalities or the right,
at that time, you mean?
Shoot, the right breast. I'm saying, I'm just saying, it happens.
Don't kill me.
The right moves in the bed, the right lips, the right car, the right. I can go down the list of why we think we're in. Same reason that you can look back at past loves, like your first love, and think and say, I wasn't really in love. I thought I was in love, but because you learn from that love to the next love, to the next love, and for whatever loves you've had, what actually real love is for you. So therefore, well, you should have a great idea of what a potential soulmate is for you. I think a lot of us, out of fear of loneliness or not getting those traditional set goals of marriage, ticking the boxes, jump into relationships that are sometimes close to a soulmate and sometimes nowhere close to a soulmate, just because there are relationships. And I'm not saying that a non-soulmate relationship can't work out, because it can.
Right.
We're also built to adapt to many different situations. So it can, and it can be very good relationship too. But I do believe there's a higher form there from that. That's could have a great relationship, then there's a higher form than that. That's, I think, it would be what you consider a soulmate. And that's my romantic take.
On a cosmic level, I guess you're saying.
I have a question.
Spiritual.
Sorry, you're right. Spiritual would say that. Go ahead, Miss Jones.
What is 3 women that you
My
we'll be right back.
My grandmother. My 3rd grade teacher that I had a crush on.
Good save, Slang. Good save.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean.
I'll edit that out later. Don't worry.
I could have been smoother and said, "Well, you're the first one, or you're the second, or you're the third."
No, that would be the worst. If I was the first,
I was gonna say.
It doesn't mean
that was bigger hole. It's like, wait a minute.
It doesn't mean
if I'm the first. But
hold on. Oh, wait. Okay, I understand why that came across, but you guys are not considering something. He said you get 3 great women. It doesn't mean that you have to get all 3. You get 3 chances. So if I get it right on the first time, there is no 2 or 3.
Okay. You've now corrected.
Or
the statement.
Heaven forbid you could pass away, and then there's number 2 or 3.
Speaking of, okay,
Good save, Slang.
so there was this show. I feel like it was called Soulmates or something like that. Anyways,
Touched by an angel?
no, I feel like it was.
That's
Come
a
down
great
in your
show.
old time shows.
Hey, that was the classics.
I hate it.
So it was.
What?
So
It's like a pseudo.
there's a show called. So I think it was called Soulmates. It was like one of those ensemble cast type things. So there's people that you recognize from different things. I feel like Toronto's own, the brothers, it's Shamir or something like that.
Okay, I know you're talking about.
And,
Yeah, the one they do that legend.
brothers. What
do they call those awards that they do? Legendary.
Yeah, the legacy.
Legacy.
The Legacy Awards, the guys that put on that. So one of them, Shamir, I think his name is. So
Yeah.
he's in there. So the premise of the show is that
Shamir Anderson.
you're in the future, and all of a sudden there is this computer / machine that can tell you who your actual ultimate soulmate is.
Okay.
This looks like a great cast.
Yeah. So then you go in, and so like you have a choice. You don't have to go and find out who your soulmate is, but a lot of people choose. So there's some people who are already married in relationships. There's some people who are single, and they're like, oh, let me go find my soulmate. Right. So some people go in, find out that they're like, a woman goes in and finds out that her soulmate is another woman.
Okay.
And so she goes and they meet each other. Because the thing is,
it's
just because
what is this?
You don't find out who your soulmate is unless they also go in. So you both have to choose to go in order to find out who your soulmate is.
Okay. So if you're with a partner, you go in both. Okay.
Yeah. So if you go in, you can go in solo, but if your soulmate decides to never go in, then you don't know who that is, right? Then there's right? And then there's like a cult of people who have been created who went in to get their soulmate, but their soulmate died. Right? And they are all like, they create this cult of people who like end up, and they're just like, oh, what's the point? Like I don't remember what happens with them because that wasn't really.
So they revolt against the whole process.
Not revolt. They're kind of just like, what is the point of fighting in this to try to be in this society if I don't have my soulmate, if I don't have someone?
They're giving up. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I was like, I didn't even realize that I got that concept, but I kind of did. And then there's another couple. So I think Shamir, they have two soulmates. So then they end up in a threesome, and a throuple, not a threesome, a throuple. So then they all end up together. And then there's like a couple who have been married for years, and then the husband or wife, I can't remember which one, decides to go and see if their partner is their soulmate, and they're not. And then how that changes their relationship and whatever. And they had a happy, amazing relationship, but then this person was just so curious that they had to find out. And when they find out that their partner is not their soulmate, all of a sudden that changes how they view her.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what social media does with everything. But now
hold on. You had a question. You had a question that was related to that, no?
Me?
Yes.
No.
Oh, I thought you had a question.
I had a question right now.
Yeah.
But okay, you're now saying that all these people are going in, whether they're in relationship or not, to find their soulmate. Is there?
They don't have to. And notice that it's not mandatory. It's choice.
Right.
Yeah.
So now again, humor me. Was there ever a chance, because you've watched this, that the person that goes in there with their partner actually matches with their soulmate, with their partner? Is there a situation?
I don't know if I don't think that happened. Because the thing is, a lot of people didn't go in as couples. I think one time, actually, I feel like the couple that ended up, the throuple that ended up, might have been a couple that went in together, and then they like added someone to the rest. I can't remember 100%. It was a long time ago. But I just found the whole idea fascinating of like, if someone tells you this is who you're supposed to be with, and then sometimes it worked out, sometimes it didn't work out, like they're your soulmate.
I think.
Yeah, like it's kind of like how much of it is that? So
Absolutely. I could see that.
to answer your first question, where you asked me, do I believe in soulmates? I don't think I do believe in soulmates. I do think I believe in, I think there was a time that I believed in soulmates, but I think I grew out of that. Because I think that at a level of maturity,
there goes the romance, folks.
there's a level of maturity that makes you find someone that, as the video that we watched that talked about this, right? So hopefully we can post that too, so that people can look at what we're talking about.
This is your soulmate. There's this thing called chemistry. Good chemistry. Good chemistry doesn't mean I'm excited about you. That's conventional. That's everyday occurrences. Good chemistry means a woman sitting with a man suddenly feels very comfortable being a woman. A guy sitting with a woman suddenly feels very comfortable being a man. And this is coming from the other. That's good chemistry. If she makes him feel comfortable being a man, he makes her feel comfortable being a woman, get married now.
Finding someone who sees you for the person that you want to be. He says a woman seeing you as a woman. I don't believe in that aspect of it. Just seeing you as a person and the person that you want to be, right?
Like, I didn't like that part either, but yes, you're right.
Yeah, just like someone that you could just be yourself with. That's the person that you should be with. This person that you don't have to put up any airs about. You don't have to pretend anything. And you feel comfortable, you want to be with them, you want to hang out with them, spend time and talk to them, that's the person that you should be with. And if you want to call that a soulmate, go ahead. Go ahead, call it a soulmate. But at the same time, it's like you can meet your soulmate at the wrong time, right? If I met Omar when I was like 20, like even like 30, I don't think we would be together.
But then does that not make us not soulmates then?
And that's my point. That's why I don't believe in it.
No, I do see your point. I see your point.
But I think, don't you have to mature? Like, I mean, you're saying now going back because you weren't ready, you weren't at your level that you are now, where you're happy with your maturity and happy with what's going on in life. Back then, you can't tell me you're going to say, oh, I'm going to find my soulmate at 19 when you haven't lived half of your life. You really going to call that person a soulmate?
But I can argue that some people do that.
I think the idea is if your soulmate is your soulmate, then you're your soulmate. It doesn't matter who you are when it is or however. And that's why I don't believe in it, because I think I don't think that. I know timing. It's about like where you are in your journey and like, like there's so many other factors that come into play.
Yeah. I think what you guys are saying, or what Deven is saying, that the soulmate is one person all the time. That's how you view it. That's what it means.
So that's what I think of when I think of
soulmate. I don't necessarily think of it that way. I think it could, that the person can change. It doesn't have to be that there's a soulmate. So for example, with the example you used, I could meet a girl at 19 that is a soulmate, but that same girl may not be my soulmate because we've different paths at 25.
So you can fall out of, you can lose that connection.
And that's why
I don't think there's one person on the planet for me. That's what I'm saying. I think there's many.
That's the point, because I feel
they all could be soulmates is where I think we differ.
Yeah, then that defeats the purpose.
Not to me. Like it doesn't say, not even it doesn't say. I just don't believe that. I could put it in a different context. Some people believe that angels are in heaven, right? I believe that angels are everyday people that help you get through life, period.
Heaven on earth, as they say.
Yeah, but if I was to stick to the idea that there are only angels in heaven, then they're very special, right? Same to the soulmate. If I stick to the idea that there's only one person that would be the perfect mate for me, that makes that person super special. So I get why that's romanticized to that side, but I don't think that way. I think of it more practically in that it's multiple people who fit into that category.
I think, yeah, I get
And
what
you
you're
still
saying.
may or may not meet those people. But I think they're more than one. And at because different times of your life, you're a different person. So
Yes.
that's to your point, Devin, it's unrealistic for it to be one person for your whole life. So to make it more
That's
realistic for myself, for my belief, I think it's different people at different
and that
stages.
and that's why I got a bit thrown off, because again, that one person, like Stein says, if that person dies in a car accident,
You'll never have a
It's-
soulmate.
yeah. So then you're sitting
Yeah,
there
that's
either
wild.
wandering the world, wondering who it is or what happened, or just depressed because you don't get the satisfaction of getting that one
Mm.
person. So I like Slang's concept about there's multiple, and I believe it's true. And again, and I like I said before, it doesn't have to be on a romantic level. You can connect with people that
That
you
makes it
just
more believable for me. If it's not
yeah,
romantic, then yeah,
yeah.
there's
Because
too
I
many.
mean, there's people in high school that you connected first day, right? And you're friends to this day. There's people that you bumped into the grocery store, and you have that weird feeling, and you just connected. Or there's somebody that you worked with for X amount of time and X amount of years that you just connect with. They can finish your sentence, all that. There's a whole bunch of those people in the world. Those can be your soulmates, I believe. I honestly think so.
And by that token, compared to a lot of other people that you may try to have relationships with, and it just cannot. You just can't be cool with that.
Mhm.
And romantic, you can't be friends, and you might try more than one time. They're cool, you're cool, but you guys together are just not cooling.
No, you're right. You're
What's
right.
the opposite of soulmates?
It reminds me of
That's a good one.
that movie
Asshole.
Hancock. Oh, Hancock.
Mhm.
Will Smith and Charlize Theron. They were supposed to be
Oh
together,
yeah,
but
but they
every
weren't
time they
good
got
together.
together,
They're
the
sick.
world was gonna blow up. It was just
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
fighting and everything. So that's what
Yeah.
I get from that. I get that 100%. Yeah, I get that.
Also, I want to say, like, another part of my theory is, again, if I was to meet my soulmate at 19, whoever that soulmate at 19 is, I may not meet. That's it. I do believe some people meet the person that they're supposed to be with for the rest of their life, or one of the people that they're supposed to be with at
Mm.
a young age, and that's it. They're good. It's not devoid of issues. It's not devoid of problems in the relationship. It's not even devoid of them possibly breaking up.
Mhm.
But them getting back together further
Might be an
cements the
issue.
idea, if it is a healthy relationship, because it can be toxic, and these very same things that I'm talking about happen.
And a lot of relationships thrive on toxicity because
Yep.
that's all they know.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
And they
And
might call those people a soulmate.
that's this day and age right now.
Very-
That's how it is right now. People thrive on toxic. I don't know why. Don't know how, but
We've been
that's
taught
what it
it's
is.
entertaining.
I don't 100% believe. I don't agree with that 100%. Those are the ones that you see and you hear about.
That's valid.
Yeah,
I think it's
100%. Yeah, I've experienced them. I've watched them. You see them in movies. You see them in shows.
No.
You've seen them in everyday life. That let me tell you about this guy I talked to, or let me talk about this girl I was dealing. You hear like that's all
But
people
I
talk
do
about.
know less people like that in real life than people who aren't in that. I do know. I definitely can pick out the people who are addicted to chaos.
Yeah,
I definitely know some people like that, but Deven MD Jones being one of them. But most people I know are they try to avoid those issues. I'm joking. You know I'm kidding. But ching.
No, but I used to, even when I was like in the dating world,
You're not?
always would be like, and this is the thing. I always had great first dates. I didn't hear what you said. I'm gonna act like, and then I'm not asking what you said. Even when I was in the dating world, I always had great first dates because even if I was into the guy, I would still sit there and have like a full conversation with him and we talk about life and whatever. If he wasn't into me, we would still have a good date. Like, let's have a good time. We both left our house. Let's do food. Let's do whatever we said we were going to do. And let's have a good time. And I always knew, like, because I always ask people, like, some people are like weird about, like, they don't ever want to talk about other people or other relationships or date other things they're dating. I always want to talk about, like, how were your past dating experiences? Because how people talk about their past dating experiences tells you a lot about who they are and what they value and all of those things. Right?
Yeah.
So when I'd be like, oh, how's your, because I've always done online dating. So I'd be like, oh, so how's your online dating been? Like, what are you finding? And if everybody is trash, I'm like,
You're the trash.
there's no such thing as everybody's trash. You're trash.
Oh yeah.
There's a good chance that you're the trash.
Because there's only one common denominator.
Exactly.
You.
Like it's not possible. Like if you ask, if even
Yes,
at the time,
Sirtoks, you're trash.
I wasn't connecting with guys, but at the same time, I was like, no, I met some good guys. This guy just wasn't for me because of this, or I was like, we just weren't connecting. We were on different pages on this thing, but they were trash. Like if everybody's horrible to you, then there's something else. There's something else going on.
And that's the thing. The thing
far.
is also recognizing, like you said, there's a difference between somebody not being good partner and not being a good partner for you.
Yeah.
And a lot of us do not realize that. We take it personal, like they're turning me down, or they don't match me. So
right.
She's that's a terror. What a bitch, or he's not. Oh, what an ass. Like no, they're just not for you.
To go further about that, I have never trashed anybody I have dated other than the person that did wrong to me. If we didn't click, we didn't click. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, and again, I'm just going by experience, women tend to get things caught up and very emotional, and they vilify you when you say no, stop, I'm not feeling it, or whatever. And then all of a sudden you get trashed on social medias, you get put in groups, you do, and guys are they move on. They're gonna go and do whatever, right? Again,
I don't know about that part, but
okay, I'm not joining no group to say, yo, let me talk about this guy. This guy.
Oh no, not publicly.
That's what I'm saying.
I can't say not, because there are groups. There
probably groups around there. Yes, like they're probably. I haven't seen any. Okay,
I'm not.
And I'm not part of any. Whereas women would go and look for these groups to go and just vent their, this guy did this to me, or this guy did that to me, and blah blah. And then they feed off each other's bad experience, and then they have this group
which is
angry, toxic people.
They boil the witch's brew.
I gotta tell you,
not all. I'm not saying not all. Again, I'm not saying not all. Not all of them like that, but there's a lot of people that seem to do that these days.
Bubble, toil, and
there
trouble.
is a certain type of woman that does that, and if you are choosing that type of woman, that is your choice. Right?
Okay, no, but if I hold on.
The one thing they say they always are like, when I date in Toronto, they're like, every woman has kids, every woman's like this. And I was like, I don't know those women. And I don't. Like the guy, like I go on dates and
but you're also not a guy.
No. Yeah. Well, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. It's because they're choosing a certain type of woman, and they're always going for this type of woman.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with what you're saying.
Many single women who are educated, don't have any kids, don't have
hold on.
Here we go.
Wait a minute.
The pot is getting hot.
Go ahead.
Those are the things that they are saying, right?
Yeah,
These are the things that they're saying that they're looking for and they're not getting. I know 20 of those women, and it's not to say those women are for them, but they are saying that those women don't exist.
Okay.
And I'm like, are you saying those? And I don't think that's true. I said you aren't actually looking for those women.
It is not true.
You really aren't.
No. However, hold on 1 second.
Go ahead.
That is the equivalent of when you tell me stuff about guys in Toronto, and I say, but I don't know guys like that. Because we're not dating. I'm not dating the guys, and you're not dating the girls. I'm not saying you're wrong, because you are right.
Mhm.
9 times out of 10, we are picking the same person over and over in a different
Type,
form.
the same type.
Same
yes.
type of person over and over in a different form.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We all are guilty of that. Most,
Mhm.
I should say, most
Mhm.
people are guilty of that.
100%.
Me, I could speak as a guy, like the description that he gave, there is truth in that, only in that if you're generalizing dating, because there is a point where you have to pinpoint down what you actually want and you refuse what you don't want.
Mhm.
I think in general, there are a lot more women like what he described than the women that you described in that dating pool. And that's just age specific. At this age,
Mhm.
most women have kids.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if they're dating, they're single. And a lot of them have multiple children with multiple men.
Mm, I
Mhm.
think
I
to,
wouldn't-
to, to flip to,
I
to
wouldn't
flip
go
on
that.
that, I would say they were
I'm not
they're
saying
more.
majority. I
No.
agree. That's
I
not a
would go
majority,
that.
but a
I would
lot
say
of them
they
do.
have kids. I would
I
agree with
I-
you that a lot of them
They
have
have
kids.
kids.
But
I would say they're more invested in their career and they don't put the time and the effort to find a partner. So
Yeah,
because they're
that's
not having
pendulum
luck,
swinging.
they do it that way, and they put that as their excuse of why they're not meeting or
What
why
is-
they're not choosing.
what does the time and effort to find a partner look like?
Well, you just said that you said you have 20 people you have that fit the description that a man is looking for. Why are they not being found? Or why are they not searching if they're single and they want a relationship?
And I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm not saying
No, I'm just asking you. I'm saying.
they're perfect, but at the same time, there's a disconnect on both sides.
Mhm.
On both sides. I'm not.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I'm just saying this because we're talking about from that point of view of what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Women's side, there's also a disconnect of their expectations.
Mhm,
On both
mhm.
sides, there is like inflated expectations of what of I don't want to say of their
The criteria of what men.
not the criteria, but like
Standards?
more of a
Standards?
should. They have like a list of should versus coulds. I like this one. Let's keep going with this.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Bring it home. Bring it home.
But again,
Let's lean in.
but here's the thing is, okay, so you have X woman
Mhm.
says she wants a man that fits this and this and this. Okay. The question now is that person making the attempts to make themselves available for that man to search them, or are they searching themselves? That's what I was trying to point out. There's a bunch of amazing women out there that don't even attempt to be found.
But that's not what it is. It's on both sides. That's what I said.
Well,
They both have a list of shoulds and that's where I'm going with this. Okay, let me finish. Let me finish this. Let me bring it.
Bring it.
So the shoulds versus the coulds. Okay? So they have a list of expectations on both sides of
Right.
things they want in a partner that are unrealistic.
True.
And it's unrealistic, not for men, not for women, for humanity as a whole.
No, you're right.
Like
Mhm,
it's
mhm.
the things that they think they want in a person are the things that they also don't like in a person.
So
Right?
let me
So
ask
they
you.
want I'll give an example.
I'm
I'll give an
sorry. Go ahead.
So I'm going to go from the woman's point of view as a woman. Okay. So things that I hear and I see that are unrealistic. Okay. So for women, you need a man who makes 6 figures. You need a man who potentially has no kids or maybe just 1 kid and 1 baby mama. Right. Then you also needs to own his own home or car or whatever. Then he also I can't with these two. Then he also needs to be a leader, but he can't lead so much that he tells you what to do.
That's kind of unrealistic. You need to lead, but not all the time.
But only when I want you to lead me.
Exactly.
Okay.
Only if it leads me to it
And
leads us to more money.
on the same spectrum,
Mhm.
I make over 6 figures. I also have a house that I don't also want to give up now because I've
Mhm.
built this house and my house is bigger than his house, so we should live in my house, but I also want him to leave me.
I think that was a good scenario because it's really usually I don't make 6 figures, I don't own a house, but I
Mhm.
want a man that does have that. I
I'm
am not a
speaking from
leader.
the experience of the women that I know.
Okay,
True. But then when you
those are
say
specials.
then you say those
To me,
magic words,
special because
but then,
that's all that those are the women that I know. So then
but
to me,
then but then
that's
you say the words,
when
what do you
told
bring
me
to the
something.
table?
Yeah.
What do you bring to the table? And people and women get upset.
It's because it's condescending and it's
No,
like
no.
if
I don't
we
I'm,
actually think it
know
is. I actually really
you
don't think
guys
it is.
no, but it's
I don't
all
mean to
it's all
I
the
don't
same
mean to
thing.
say it that way, but I'm saying what are you bringing to the relationship that makes this whole?
It's the same way that guys get in their feelings when you say you're in your feelings. It's the wording of something that you know is triggering for someone else, but you still keep using it even though you know it's triggering.
Why is it
No,
triggering?
I have never used that term, but I understand what they mean by it. I'm like, so I have my house, I have my daughter, and I have my job, and you say you want this, this, and that. I'm like, but what else? What are you bringing to the relationship? What makes this work?
I
What
don't
makes
like
this?
the question.
If you have to
I
ask that,
don't like a question.
here's the thing: if you have to ask someone that question, you should not be dating.
No,
Why?
no, no. I'm not.
You
I'm not
should know.
Why
saying.
is
I'm
that?
not saying I'm
You should
asking
know
the question.
that.
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying
this is the beginning of
that's
the
the
date. This is the
triggering.
beginning.
No,
You should
yeah,
know that
that's
already.
But it's the start of the dating. You're just getting
yeah.
to know the
I,
person.
I'm saying. I'm saying
That's
that
not
is a
a question
question.
you ask somebody out the gate. That's literally like me asking you. We go on our first date, and I'd be like, "How much money do you make?"
What are you? I'm
It's,
saying you are correct. I agree with you. But that question you just asked is a normal first date question nowadays.
nowadays, yes,
Question.
That's no
yes,
that's
yes.
that
Where do you
question.
work? How
Okay,
much
so
you
you know
make?
what? That's
You,
it. I was gonna say
yeah.
it may not even ask you how much you make, but what do you
It's
do?
yes.
What do you do
Those are
for
things.
work?
Those things are irrelevant for you being a romantic connection. You can be a freaking DJ and you can be amazing at your job and love your job. We're making 6 figures, but that doesn't change you. That doesn't define you as a man,
Doesn't
and
find
vice
anything
versa.
about you.
Yeah,
It's what
that
you
and vice
do. It's
versa,
not who
woman.
you are.
You're a stay-at-home woman. Okay, great, no problem. I love that about you. But again,
You're single and
there's
it's
more.
who's paying the bills?
Well, again, this is Canada. There's a
Yeah,
lot of ways to get around
that's
that.
a fact.
There's
But
a lot of
I have a
ways.
couple of things to say there about what you said there.
first of all, wait, sorry. Can we side note this for 1 second? If you meet someone and they're a stay-at-home mom and they're single, do not
Yes.
date her.
Yeah, don't do
No,
that.
no, no.
Definitely don't do that.
Do not.
You know what?
I,
I
I'm
can't even give you that advice. I can't even say don't date that woman.
Well,
She might be
some.
into something at that moment that's why she's doing it. That might not be because she might just be home right now
Here's the thing.
looking
Some
for.
men,
okay,
some men
There's
have that. Wait,
caveats.
I will take
some
that
men,
back.
but
Unless,
some men
unless,
have that hero concept, and they want to sweep
Yes,
the woman off their feet, and they
yes,
want to
and
be
take
that
care
guy.
of
Say,
her.
"Don't worry, honey,
And
I
take care
got
of
you."
her. Yeah,
That's probably what a man
go
would want.
ahead.
Not
Do
me.
that.
Not me.
unless that's what you want. If you want someone who's going to stay at home, but also don't ask that person what they bring to the table because you already know.
No, that's a fact.
No, no, no. I understand that.
Okay,
I'm just saying
okay,
that
okay. Hold on.
that's the in question right now. That's what I'm saying.
Asking someone, I don't like the question, but I don't like the where do you see yourself in 5 years questions either, really. Why is the question actually triggering? Why is it actually triggering? I don't like it just because of the implications or the read the future situation. But why do women find that question offensive? What do you bring to the table? Especially when I feel they do that to men without asking that particular question.
They're asking the questions
How much do you
directly.
make?
Yeah. Do you have
Where
any
do
kids?
you live? Do you have kids?
Yeah.
Because that's what that question
What do
is
you
asking, and
drive?
it's
Yeah.
summing it up.
You both
Yeah.
are asking each other those same questions. No?
But
You're
that's my point. But why do women get offended by the question, what do you bring to the table?
It's
In particular?
Because it's asking you, what is your worth to me?
But you just said what Slang was saying, that women are asking the same questions, only in multiple questions. What do you drive? Where do you live? What do you work? Like those are the same questions. The men's version is just
so then
summed
why
up.
don't you be more creative and ask the same questions in a creative way? But to be like point blank, be like, what are you worth to me? Is
No, I didn't.
It's
I didn't say that.
You're all evaluating each other. You're all evaluating each other. That's what dating is. That's literally the whole point of dating, is to evaluate each other and find out if you guys have the same values, if you're on the same page, if you have the same trajectory in terms of life, of the things that you want and the things that you need. It is the whole point of dating. Correct. Right? So if you don't want to answer those questions, then you shouldn't be dating.
I agree. So then
100%. But
what
most
you
men
bring
do
to the
answer.
table should be offensive.
I don't think
it should not be offensive for what I'm saying.
I've never been asked that question, because I
would never ask it.
I don't think anybody has ever had to ask me that question.
I've never had to.
I would never ask that.
And that's why I say, if you have to ask someone that question, that means one, neither of you is communicating properly enough to have those answers already. And two, you already have a feeling that this person ain't shit.
Yeah.
I would agree with that to an extent.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But
You've already defined that already.
That literally is what makes it offensive, because if someone is asking me that question, that means they don't think I bring anything to the table, and I need to sell them. I don't need to sell you. And I say, if I haven't sold you yet, I haven't sold you yet.
Are we you're romanticizing it. I get it. But we both are selling ourselves to each other.
Yes, you have to put your best person out there.
In this age of hyper fast microwave dating, that's why that question has even become a thing. Because once upon a time, we took our time to get to know each other.
Yep.
But now with the social medias and the Bumbles and the Facebook dating app, we can see 50 women at once, 50 men at once. We could date once a week a different person. Back at one time, there's people that did that, but we looked at those people a certain kind of way.
It's true. True.
No, I'm talking pre internet dating. Internet dating made it possible to make that.
But internet dating has been around since the 90s.
We're talking about a different form.
Yeah. This is new. This is new glorified apps.
This is not the same.
And websites and
this is not Black Planet.
Oh wow.
It was great. Black Voices.
This is not
Black Planet was great.
A jam.
But at the same time, it wasn't terrible.
What about ICQ before that?
That's just chat services though.
The two of you are internet whores.
It was dating.
No, there was rooms. There was rooms to date people. It was not meant. That's what ICQ. That's what ICQ died, because it got too much.
Guys, ICQ was the original Love is Blind.
Love is Blind, and that's what I told people.
Where do you think this stuff comes from?
Yeah, I said everything that you're seeing on TV has already been done.
Of course.
You go back to 1990 and you talk to your girl, you talk to your guy on the phone for 3 weeks, and they're in different schools, whatever. You don't get to see them.
Ladies and gentlemen, newsflash. We had shows called The Kissing Game and The Love Connection. Blind date. If people were behind something, you never saw them. This has been going on since the 70s.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
So none of this is new. It's just rehashed, remixed recipes.
Tell them again. Tell them again. It's already been done.
With more technology and a little more creativity, but it's all the same shit.
The only thing they're missing is the live studio audience and voting which one suits the guy best.
They also have
90% is Chuck.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's relatively bigger budget. It's a relative bigger budget because those shows back then,
they made money back then.
Yeah,
they were good.
People on 6 people on a honeymoon vacation in Mexico or wherever.
No, but that's because the money
that was the mindset.
With inflation and all that, if you took that money, they couldn't do that the same way that they could do it now, because cameras were more expensive then.
Mm-hmm.
Like to carry that production team
Yeah.
over there, they would need their
Yeah.
own airline.
Meanwhile,
Now
you
you
can
can
have a
film people
small
on a
camera
phone.
that you're using right here. Yeah, the whole show could be done on a a
But-
phone.
And on the other end of the spectrum, we still got shows like Pop the Balloon. It's nice and simple, but
It works.
effective.
And it's popular.
Yeah.
And I bet you someone's gonna take the rights and put that
It's
on
been everywhere.
primetime TV. It's gonna be a primetime, no, not just YouTube. It's gonna be primetime TV soon.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
watch.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Just-
Ooh-wee.
Yeah,
Um,
one black producer is gonna take that and run with it. Be it Tyler Perry, whatever.
I was gonna say
Someone-
Tyler Perry.
Yeah, someone's gonna take it and say,
Mike
you know what,
Lee.
let's make it a big deal. Then they have Jamie Foxx host it and whatever, or
Jamie Foxx.
or
Jamie
Lala host it, whatever. Somebody's gonna do it and make it a bigger thing, and then I'll just lose interest in the whole thing again. That's how it
I'm
works.
almost pretty much already there. But yeah, hey, we've been on here for an hour and a half. People, oh, she has another question. The woman that has to go to sleep. Go ahead.
I'm watching it. I said.
Oh, I thought you said question.
No, I said I'm watching
You're watching what?
that show.
Pop the Balloon.
Yeah, with the syndicated version.
While
There's
we're
a syn-
on the podcast,
Hold on,
talking?
there's a syndicated
No,
version
I'm
already.
going to watch it when it comes out.
Oh,
syndicated.
when it comes out. Okay.
Oh, that's
Hey,
what
wait,
I
like
thought.
I said-
Because you're looking down. I thought you were saying you're.
Yeah, that's what
watching
I
it
thought.
right
I thought you
now.
were watching that right now.
Yeah,
Like,
we
what?
both thought that. That's what
The
we-
disrespect.
Yeah. What the
I-
hell? You see what modern women have come to?
I can multitask.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But again, anything that's hot will be turned into a show. It happened with Shazam. I said Jamie Foxx because Shazam was a big thing on an app, and you had to guess the tune, blah blah. That's what they turned into a show with him.
Everything.
In terms of
everything. You're right.
dating games.
There was, I think, there was a
Tic
TikTok
Tac
show
Toe.
too.
Name that tune.
Name that tune. Exactly. All these shows that are great.
Refried beans, my guy.
Hold the pickles.
There's pickles and refried
No,
beans.
pickles.
I don't know.
Hold the
Anyways.
salsa.
But but Slang is right. We've been going an hour and a half talking about relationships and soulmates, and I'm tired of it. I haven't found mine yet.
Successful.
Well, maybe I have, and they moved to Thailand. I don't know.
Or maybe
Those
you didn't like their pants, so you popped their balloon.
Oh, and that's you know what? That's another thing. Is before we go,
Oh,
the way people present themselves is a big deal when it comes to dating.
oh, absolutely. And you're selling.
But
I
yeah,
said
but
you have to. You don't buy a rusty car unless you're the type of person that wants to fix it up.
and that's what I'm saying. But at the same time, people oversell themselves. They go above and beyond, and they're not them. So that's a turnoff when you want to be real with them. I'm like, yo, this is you, really? What?
I don't
Okay.
believe any of us are truly us at the beginning of the dating.
No,
That's what
you're
they
right.
say. You meet the person's representative, and then you get introduced to them.
You're good, boss. All right. You walk in.
Have I changed?
Everybody there, even if it's a subtle thing from you holding in burp, for example, because you don't want. No, I'm not.
right. You got it right. Yeah.
I never did that. No, I never did that.
Well, I don't. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying it as
No,
simple.
that's me.
It could be a simple
Tell
thing.
me.
Anything that you weren't doing that you do now because you're more comfortable. I might not even know. I might
Yeah,
not know what that is.
You're right. You might not notice.
I might not even notice what it was, but it's something for you because we all have our own insecurities that we
100%.
don't want to show somebody right away until we trust them. That's what getting comfortable in a relationship is. It can happen fast, but the
Yeah.
first time you meet that person, that's not the full you. It could be even very close, but that's
No,
not
it's you. It's just a very
version.
superficial version of you.
it's one of the best versions of you.
Yeah.
You're not coming there. You're not coming there close to one of the worst versions of you.
If
I
you
don't
do,
think-
then
I don't think a fake version of you is the best version of you.
But I'm not
No,
saying
I-
it's
I
fake.
said-
Like you
I
said, it's not fake.
superficial. Superficial. All the
Yeah,
lights
I
and
don't-
cameras.
I still-
Guys on like you're acting.
I don't
Just
think
like an
that's
actor.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think it's the best version of you.
No, we're not saying it's the best version. We're saying it's a overhyped version.
Mhm.
It's not.
You,
It's not
it is the best
superficial.
version to you. that is doing it. You think
Yeah, you're
that
putting
you are
on this
presenting
guy
the
saying,
best
"Hey," or you
version
putting
of
at this
yourself.
girl saying, "Hey,
Which
they
is
might
still
like this,
you.
so we're gonna
But-
do more of
and,
this."
And to your point, Devin, there are some people that are totally different. They're totally acting, but
Mhm.
I don't even consider myself as being acting. I just consider it being I'm trying to present the best version of myself. I would put it to more close to putting on my makeup so you don't see the bumps on my face. That's not
Yeah.
what I do, but that's my kind of metaphor. If you even putting on a certain type of clothing or
Yeah.
dressing, like the first time you met me, I was wearing jeans. I don't barely wear jeans, but I felt like that was the best thing to present in the moment.
Your
Agreed.
body,
Good call.
your body was nice in them jeans, yeah.
I see.
Oh gosh.
Before this turns into Love is behind the curtain,
I wonder if they'll do Canada. I don't think they'll ever do a Canada, eh?
they probably would.
Oh no, I'm thinking about Pop the Balloon.
They probably would. They
I
do
don't. I
Canada
don't
almost
think.
everything else,
Pop the Balloon.
Yeah,
but
but
the Canada ones don't last as long.
yeah. I mean, Big Brother is there
Oh,
just because of
Big
budget wise,
Brother
but
and
Big
what's
Brother's
the
still going, isn't it?
yeah,
it
and
is.
what's
It
the
is.
other
But I
one?
mean,
The one that
it's
we watched
weird
the
though.
other day.
Amazing Race Canada.
Amazing Race Canada still as well.
Again, those are things that are just you can do that anywhere, right? You could just go off to New Brunswick and then head over to, Ottawa, and then jump over to Saskatoon. There's no real drama there. The Canadians don't have that drama. I don't believe. Whereas the Americans, they super magnify drama to make it sell. I mean, that's where look at our Canadian TV shows.
No, I
What are
think
they right now?
you could get a girl from Sault Ste. Marie and a dude from
Stop it.
Rexdale and
Stop
see
it.
what
No,
happens.
wait a
I'll
minute.
give
I've been that. I've been there, done that. No, there's no excitement there, brother.
the
Trust me,
same
there's not.
production company and a lot of the same camera people and production people
Mhm.
are the same that did like Canada's Amazing Race, Canada's Ultimate Challenge. They're the same ones that do the Survivor, like the regular Survivor.
The Survivor in the States?
Yeah, they're the same production people.
Makes sense.
It's
Okay.
the exact same.
But
Like
pretty
the
much
guys
looks the same.
our sound guy, half of the camera crew all were on the Survivor cast. They on the Survivor production.
Really?
Yeah.
So I guess because they're known to what type of look they want and what type of sound they want, they just rotate them from one show to the other. That makes sense.
They're
Yeah.
reality specialists.
Reality specialists. Yeah, exactly.
Makes
That
sense.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
They know how to shoot it, so they're going to
And
be
then
experts.
some of our production managers and stuff like that, they were doing like Bachelor in Paradise. They were doing Bachelor Kent. They were doing all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. We are
Okay.
like,
So they're all in the same niche
I
of
could see them
style of
doing it.
whatnot.
I could see them doing it.
Okay,
At least trying
maybe
it.
you're right.
If they could
Yeah,
do
maybe
Law and
they-
Order Toronto, then they could do Love is Blind Canada.
Oh,
Love
shout
is
out to my
Blind.
boy Chris Collins on Law and
Oh
Order.
yeah.
That's my boy. I went to middle school with that man.
Barely
Good
see
guy.
him on there until like the last
Well.
couple episodes of the season, but yeah.
He's like
Anyway,
the
I love you
Cube.
guys, but I'm tired of you guys.
All right, folks, we're ending it here. Again, another great show. I think it's our longest show to date, and because of the passion,
No, probably
what
not.
we're talking about.
But it's close.
It's close. It's close.
I
It's
feel
close.
like we had some 2-hour ones but anyway.
Nah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, we've done it again, and we'll try to get as frequent as possible. But again, life is life; it happens. But again, for Ms. Jones, Mr. Hugh, and your boy Sirtoks, Darks with the Ginger Hue, follow us on YouTube, TikTok, and IG, and we'll see you again next time. Peace and love, folks. We out.